Hello, everyone. The year is almost halfway gone. Can you believe it? We started out this year, and I did this super viral now reading about all of the different zodiac signs about 2026. And now the year is officially halfway over. Now, that particular article generated me over $1,000 in income. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I try it again and see if you guys like this one as much as you liked the previous one. And we're going to take a look at the second half of the year, zodiac sign by zodiac sign, to give you a little bit of a foresee into the future of what you can expect in the second half of the year. Oh, delicious. Let's get going. Hello. Okay, up first is the beautiful Aries. You all know that we love you. And what we're looking at is the second half of the year. We're talking about the manifesting and the creative energy and all that gorgeous stuff. What can we expect in terms of Aries? This could be sun, moon, or rising. Very interesting. It's like we want to focus in on all the stuff that needs to happen while making a very clear judgment call about what we decide to do in terms of stepping into the energy of others. So whose energy do we want to allow in, and when and where and why? And being really intentional about that for the second half of the year, because it's like we have a lot of very interesting energy waiting to come through, but we don't want to be distracted or overwhelmed by the energy of other people. And that is making a judgment call. Of course, we've got the judgment card in, which is just about the movement of one cycle to the next. And it's about, how do they make you feel? How does this situation make you feel? And that's a good way to move past this necessity to please others, be in communion with others. And this will recoup a lot of your creative strength, a lot of your personal strength, a lot of your manifesting strength. It's like, how do we keep our vibes high and eliminate the possibility that somebody can really just bring us down with the way they talk, the way they act, the energy that they bring, and being a little selective about who we let into our energetic fields. But I feel like you know this already, Aries. I think you may be grieving this sort of with the 5 of Cups in reverse. It's like you may be grieving the fact that there are some people that just aren't going to keep up with the rhythm that you have. That doesn't mean that they can't be in your life or they can't be with you, talk with you, etc. But it's like, when you are with those people, you need to protect yourself, and you need to be very clear that when you're done, you're going to have to go back through what you talked about during the time that you were together and decide, is this really something that I want to keep for my life? What amount of what I said was just to belong or fit in or hang out, and what amount of it was actually for my personal growth and will actually change me as a person? And I have a feeling that you will come across some very clear insights about how you want to protect your creative energy going forward. Dear Aries, I absolutely love this for you. I think the strength that you have inside of you is incredibly powerful. You need to pay attention to how people make you feel. You need to pay attention to you're putting in the work. You want this to get done, and you have all of these possibilities ahead of you as long as you just get your emotions on board. And part of that is grieving the fact that some people aren't going to be on this journey with you, and that cutting ties and cutting them loose in some certain aspects and protecting your energy is going to be for the highest good for all. All right, dear Aries, thank you so much for being here today. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after. so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello and welcome, dear Taurus, to this second half of the year reading. And we're going to be looking at your manifestations and your creative process for the second half of the year. What is unfolding for you? What blocks or obstacles might be in the way? And what you can expect out of the second half of the year. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Devil in... Okay. All right. Whoa. Okay. The 7 of Cups in reverse. And the 10 of Wands in its upright position. If you feel like you've been lacking direction, you feel like you've been doing all the right things, eliminating certain habits, following the right ones, doing the things you're supposed to be doing, quote unquote. But the opportunities just aren't unfolding how you wanted it to. And it all is starting to feel like just a huge burden. Like, what the actual F? There's a bit of a shakeup. And when I say a bit of a shakeup, a big one. Your world may be changing or have changed very recently. And or in the short term future. It's where we have this sudden split down the middle of what is allowed, what is okay, what is going to create the life that you want, and what is not. And getting pretty clear about that. There may be some big changes in terms of your employment, your business. But all of this is incredibly important because what it's doing is clearing the energy around a very small yet very true thought or behavior pattern or thinking pattern that has left you feeling like you're out of options, that has left you feeling like you are stagnant or that there's no way to move forward. So it's a bit of a process, but this is the idea that you can do this and that it's going to be for your highest good. It's not dangerous. It's not life-threatening. It might be a little scary, but you're going to be okay. The whole thing is going to turn out okay. And just remember that this whole thing is what you asked for and what the universe is doing to protect and guide you, your spirit guides, your angels, all that stuff. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Okay, in this deck, this is The Universe Has Your Back deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which I want to put this card with a little bit of a caveat that you don't deserve the bad things that happen to you. But you do want to experience true nature. And this is the opportunity to find your own direction. There are some tarot readers who don't even read the reversals. And so what if we just took this Wheel of Fortune and we put it in its upright position, saying that you do now have direction, destiny is intervening, and it's for your higher good. And that the parts that you do have control over, you pay attention to. That you start to feel the pleasure of being alive just as it is. That you start to see all the opportunities in the spaces that were once bereft of opportunity. That you to start telling the truth when and where you can, and that you realize that you actually have a lot that you've put into this situation that you can glean from it. And I think that mindset change is going to be incredibly powerful for you, Taurus, this second half of the year. The circumstances, definitely, you don't deserve anything bad happen to you ever. But if it does happen, or when it does happen, as life does eventually give us these twists and turns, that will require us to change the way that we think about things, and that's just part of being human. So if and when they do occur, not that you deserve them, not that you've done anything wrong to manifest them, but if and when they do occur, what mindset do you have going into it? And your mind is your freedom. And it's the one place that you have complete and utter control over. Part of that is paying attention to what the world has offered you in terms of reality and being like, no thank you, capitalism. No thank you, sexism, or any of the big isms that don't work in your favor, that work to just push you down. And yes, please, to recreating your own mind in the way that you would like it to be. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello, dear Gemini. We are looking at the second half of the year for you. What does it hold? What can you expect? And basically, yeah, all of that juicy stuff. Looking at your manifestations and your creative pursuits. Okay. Absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, interesting. So there's a lot of thinky thoughts going on around here. Death of an old situation. Moving on from something. And also you've been... Yeah, I've got the 7. I've got the 8 of Swords here, and I've got the 2 of Swords here. So it's as if we've reached a place in which we've done a lot of mindset work, but then again, we've been allowing that mindset stuff to creep back in on us, and we've been grieving the death of a cycle, but at the same time, that death is lightening up the road for what could come out of the future, and celebrating sort of those achievements and celebrating just the fact that you've done so much with your energy, so much with your capabilities as a person, and manifesting this creative life that you want to experience. And Queen of Swords is in as well. Just there's a lot of truth, and so you've already unearthed a lot of it, and you just need to keep going. You need to keep listening to all of those negative thoughts, writing down the thought patterns, getting them out of your head and onto paper, because your mind is really your most powerful weapon here. That's really what the swords are even telling us at all times. No matter where we see them, your thoughts, the way that you think and the way that you speak about your life, about your situations, is the strongest indicator of where that situation is going to end up taking you and how you're going to end up getting there. This is the mindset work that needs to come through in order for you to really feel like you're on the path to true freedom. And it starts with your mind. And I know you already know this. I know that you already know this, but we had a little bit of a slip back in the first part of this year. And so it's the time for the fighting. Oh God, there's so many swords in here. What the? Okay, really, the mind work, the mindset work is so incredibly important, Gemini, that I think this reading cannot overstate it enough or understate it. I don't know. Like, you have been working on this forever and eternity. And you got to a point where you were like, okay, the mindset work, like I've done a lot of growing and I've done a lot of changing, like how I view things and how I show up in the world. And yeah, like I don't need to do anymore. Ding. And then we had a little bit of a decline, a little bit of a backlog, if you will, like when you slip backwards and just think, oh, like I'll be all right because I've already done this mindset work. I've already healed this. And then the universe has been like, okay, if that's really what you think, you have no more. Are you sure? And you're, yep, I've done it all. I've done all the work. So I don't need to do any more. And then it was just like your life felt like it was on one step forward, two steps back space. And so the universe was just stepping in and being like, hey, are you sure you want to go 2 steps back? You may want to get back into the habit of paying attention to that mindset stuff. And during the second half of the year, this is critical for your manifestations, for your creative work, for what you want to bring in. We don't want to fight with our minds anymore. We need to get back on track because you were really close to understanding all of this important information, like oneness is your true nature. And when you focus on your inner light, you can see the world through the lens of love. And you can see that things aren't happening to you all the time, that you actually have some dominion and some control over the things around you. And so just remember that as you go forward. Your mind is a powerful weapon, strong weapon, and it is your imperative from the universe to pay attention to it, to work with it, and to not let that go on the back burner, okay? Your path is one that requires a lot of really powerful mindset work. Thank you so much, Gemini. Hey, everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello and welcome, Cancer, to your second half of the year reading. We're going to take a look at what your manifestations and your creative process looks like for the second half of the year, what obstacles maybe have been in your way, how to release them, how to move past them, etc. It's going to be a really juicy reading, and we've already got some cards peeking out for us. Ooh, where's all the fun? We've been working hard, but there needs to be a balance too of rest and play. Remember that, like, capitalism seeks to make you feel exhausted in order to capitalize on your need for money. So just a friendly reminder from your very anti-capitalist tarot reader that rest, joy, relaxation, pleasure, freedom, enjoyment are all parts of a human life, and they are never something to feel guilt about. Even though sometimes we do, we can try to redirect that and remember that it's fun to be human. Listen, I love this energy for you for the second half of the year. I can see that there is a lot of joy wanting to move into your life and a renewed sense of like a brand new Could be business project for some of you, could be relationships for others. But in the end, this is an evolution into a new part, a new chapter of your life in which you're going to be able to get really connected with who you truly are and what you really want to experience in this lifetime. And that comes from the Queen of Swords, who stepped in today to cut the bullshit, get realistic about what you truly want to experience, and then just do it, because nobody is going to stop you. Nobody cares. Okay, let me reframe that, because I want to make sure that you understand what I'm trying to say is that not that nobody cares, but if you've ever been online posting stuff, or if you've ever been job hunting or whatever, it's hard to get people to care about anybody other than themselves. And so just in the same way that nobody is watching you really, also nobody is coming to stop you. And that is a really cool realization that you can actually just do whatever you want with your life. You can make your own rules and write your own life exactly how you want it to go. And that requires, of course, some work behind it. There's some mindset work that has to happen, some emotional releasings. There's a learning curve involved, and certainly you'll have to learn new ways of doing things that you didn't previously know how to do. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. In fact, it's very possible, and this is a huge indication that just do what you want to do. Everything is made up anyway. We made up banks, we made up money, we made up careers, we made it all up. So why not make up what you want your life to look like? And listen, I know there are physical constraints. It's not like we just decide this and then the very next day our whole lives are transformed and everything is changed. But if you never step outside of yourself to see what possibilities there truly are, you'll never get them. And so you have to be really intentional about going after what your soul desires. And just stepping into this new sort of page, this new chapter of your journey in the second half of this year that says, hello, you've got this. Come on, you can do this. This is possible. Take the wheel of your own life and create your own destiny. And honestly, I know you're on the precipice of doing this. So you've already started doing it. And there may be one or more people who are helping to guide you in this. Oof. And then there's another really good piece here. When I lean on certainty and faith, I changed my mind about the world I see. And that's so incredibly pivotal, really. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment the universe can truly get to work. Remember, we are co-creating with the universe. It's not just me. It's also a little bit of trust, which can be scary. It's not necessarily in our nature as Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever you happen to find it in your chart. But you might want to just try it and see, like, what's the best that could happen. You never know. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pulled tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello and welcome, dear Leo, to your reading about the second half of the year. Delicious. I am so excited to see what's unfolding for you. Interesting. The Three of Pentacles in its reverse position. the Seven of Pentacles in its reverse position. And this one jumping right out for you. The Ten of Wands. My dear Lee, lighten up a little bit. Nobody likes a workhorse. More along the lines of just say what you need to say. Ask people around you for help. And don't let people walk all over you. Leos are typically told that in traditional marriages or partnerships or workplaces that the Leos of the group are the ones that are always in the spotlight and that are always super confident, super strong. But there's this other side of Leo that's when the fire burns too harshly and what's left is burnout. And I have a feeling that's where we've been in the recent days and weeks, dear Leo. And there's a lot of importance about getting your power back from whatever situations. This could be a boss, this could be a partner, this could be society at large, but I have a feeling it's a little more personal than that. I have a feeling that it's you reclaiming your boundaries and being around people who truly love you and who are going to be nice to you and who are going to really open you up to what love feels like, and not conditional love or this codependency that sometimes you can experience or have experienced in the past. And traditional structures may have failed you in this particular situation in which you think, I was supposed to be safe because I was in a marriage, or I was supposed to be safe because I was in a job and I got a career and I got a degree and I did all the right steps. So what gives? And the Gabby Bernstein deck says hope is the conduit for miracles. And joy is the ultimate creator. I feel like, and both of these are very simple messages. What I feel like is coming through here today is that you may have been intentionally, or at least not like outright intentionally, but like somewhat intentionally marginalized from the people in your community so that this person could have, or this particular governing force could have control over you as an individual and the decisions that you made. That's why this reading is all about the second half of the year is coming, so you can intentionally choose to leave that stuff behind. And it's hard, but you may want to reconnect with people who are on the same wavelength as you. And drop like this martyr act if you still have it going on. You don't have to carry everything alone. Life is not all hard work and no play. And also, you can be really honest about what you want. It's okay. You have officially a green light, and you can find the safe spaces to be really like clear about what do you want to experience? What do you want to see in your life? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And then from there, it's about, okay, grieving perhaps a little bit, the process of, okay, I thought this was going to work out for me because I did what I was quote unquote supposed to do. I was in the marriage. I was in the relationship. I was at the job. I followed the rules and I did what society told me to do. And yet I'm at this crossroads where it didn't work. And now I'm like, okay, what now what? And the now what is coming from your own spirit and your own sense of injustice about the very specific situation. Like, how did it really make you feel? And the angrier, the honester, more honest, the better. In this situation, it's like, how can you just be flat out? What's the real gritty facts about this? That's something that I was watching Brené Brown the other day. And she was talking about that, like gritty optimism, but also gritty facts. And I think that's what you need to take a look at. What are the real facts of the situation? And in this particular case, how do I need to kind of just have a real sort of existential slap in the face? A kind one, but a slap in the face nonetheless. Whoa, okay, snap out of it. That sounded really That's a saying in Spanish. Okay, the reality is there is a reality that wants to come through. Okay, dear Leo? And I hope that it comes through for you. This joy, this hope, I can see it for you. Now, Leo, I have a very special little offer for you today. Hey everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello and welcome, dear Virgo. We're looking at the second half of the year for you. All right, have you been thinking about moving on from something, but you haven't been able to get the momentum that you really want, either through this past situation or perhaps the front one? And what have you been clinging to in terms of your behavior, your outlook on life, your mindset, the way that you're honest or not honest with yourself in terms of what do you truly want out of this situation and out of this life? And what are you doing just to avoid the pain or the discomfort of your current situation? And I think that once you figure that out, it'll be a pretty clear indication of where do you really want to go. Because there can be an idealist within you in terms of Virgo has this really exacting power of being able to see a very pure, clean, and intentional, detailed part of the world that just doesn't show up in other areas of the zodiac as much as it does in Virgo. And yeah, you can be a little idealistic and a little naive. So this may be a sort of stopping point. It's the middle of the year's halfway over, but there's still half of a year for your dreams and your manifestations to come true. And I think it may have to do with business and finances for a lot of you. And I feel like you're not just giving yourself this free rein, that you're overly stuck in this thinky space. And you kind of just got to get back into this space of taking action on what you know is going to be powerful and true for you, dear Virgo, because you are the Queen of Pentacles in essence. Or maybe, yeah, like the Queen of Pentacles, a very regal, very earthy, very throny, powerful sense of pleasurable experience. And then there's this other part of you, this other aspect of you that's a little controlly at times. You know that about yourself, Virgo. This is not news to you. This says, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Interesting. Now, the Gabrielle Bernstein deck, it teeters on that toxic positivity that we did see in the early 2000s, that can be a little dangerous at times. So I would say your happiness is partially reflected in the level of faith that you have in the universe, and that you shouldn't get too caught up in perfection, because we all know, dear Virgo, that is a tough lesson for you in this lifetime of perfection, of I've got to get it right. I got to get it right. I've been doing this for so long. How can I not be getting it right? I've been doing it every single day. I've been working hard. And so why isn't it working? I'm stuck in this cycle, but at the same time, I think that there is power in faith. Not everything is about faith, but there is power in faith. And also prayer and meditation and mindset work, doing your affirmations and your EFT tapping and connecting back, journaling, yoga, physical activity that brings you joy and gets you out of your head a little bit. It's highly auspicious at this time. And dear Virgo, what we see is that your ability to achieve the goal that you set out for yourself to achieve is 100% possible. Don't be so quick to just give up. Take a break instead. Don't let your pleasure seeking habits control your life, but also don't let them be the driving factor in how you experience this life as a human either. So you should experience pleasure. The virgin stereotype is, ooh, we should purify and stay away from all types of dark, deep, demony pleasure. But that stuff is what means to be human, and there's no way to purify a way out of being human. It's just part of that. This is the existence of a human being. So enjoy the little pleasures and the small pleasures along the way, and take breaks and be kind to yourself. All right, dear Virgo. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being a creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm excited for what this second half of the year brings for you. Hello and welcome, dear Libra, to your second half of the year reading. Wowza! We've got a lot of repeat cards, so make sure that you're looking at your sun, moon, and rising signs as well, because there may be information in there for you. Okay. So you've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Lovers in reverse, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Star. Okay. Really lovely. Golly gosh. The Hierophant. Okay. And Hanged Man. Okay. Lovely. Wow. I'm like really loving this energy. It's feeling really powerful. Do we want to disengage a little bit from the community that we're in for certain specific reasons? And some of those being like, maybe they're just not on the same wavelength as you in terms of like your hopes and dreams and what you wish to experience in this world. That's really what I see when I see the Hope card and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's this idea that you have a hope or a dream or plans on your heart that maybe your community is discouraging you about, or doesn't really feel like they're that on board, or they're nonchalant. Yeah, sure. But you're a little bit... Let's get in on this. Look how pretty my glass of water looks with that light right there. So a different type of community with a hierarchical structure, or not even necessarily a hierarchical structure, but a determined plan, just like a structural space that you will want to intentionally take part of. Could be learning or a course, or like you want to study something. And there's some of it is on standby because it does feel like maybe the hard work hasn't really been there, because it's almost like we don't really believe it's going to be true. And that could have to do with somebody who's close to us in our ear a little bit. I don't really know if that's possible. I don't really know if that can happen for you. And then you're, oh, maybe they're right, because you do trust or feel like you love toward this person, and then you take what they have to say pretty seriously because you're like, they're just looking out for my best interest. And so maybe you're like, I just don't really want to work on this right now, even though I hope that it can happen for me. And I do see that possibility. But here's where the part of you have to be strong in your conviction, as we do see with the Emperor, because right now you're just hesitating, but it's like there's some aspect of learning or community or academic structures or a plan or a curriculum or those kinds of things that will help you. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition, and attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. Interesting. I like this deck because it's the Gabrielle Bernstein deck. Yes, it's called The Universe Has Your Back, but we just have to take a little bit of a grain of salt with it because sometimes it could be all or nothing, and so that can make you feel even worse about yourself sometimes. It's just a good lesson to have. But I like the drawings, and the messages, if you take them with a grain of salt, are actually really beautiful. So attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any fear of any form of separation are merely calls for help. Okay. Where have you been separating yourself with the Three of Pentacles here in its reverse position, saying to you, did you want to disconnect from a certain group of people or a certain thing because you were thinking it's just not going to pan out or people aren't going to get it? And then you stopped working on it, the hope never really went away, but you're not seeing as many outward things happening. We've got the Hanged Man just in his upright position, and then the outer experiences are a reflection of your internal experiences. Okay, where have I been unintentionally stagnating the results because I just don't really know how people are going to take this, or I don't really know how it's going to turn out, and I don't want to disappoint people or upset them, or maybe one person in particular. So it's okay. Maybe do we want to be a little bit more intentional about, hey, I do actually want this thing to happen, and listen, or just like we would with the Gabrielle Bernstein deck, it's take it with a grain of salt, even when people give their opinions on your life, because you are ultimately the Emperor card, the leader of your own life, as it should be, and can take bold moves toward your future. Thank you so much, dear Libra, for being here today. Hey everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello, dear Scorpio. We are looking at the year ahead, the second half of the year anyway. It's already halfway through the year. Can you believe it? How exciting. We still have a half of a year left, and there's a lot here for you, because as I was pulling out the cards, they really jumped out, and they have a lot to say. So let's take a look at what are your manifestations, what are your creative endeavors looking like for the second half of the year. And you've got not only the King of Pentacles, but also the King of Wands. And if you'll notice, in the middle, you've got the Ace of Cups and Page of Swords. So you've actually, with the first 4 cards in your reading, you've already got all 4 suits represented. So then the question becomes, what are we seeing? First of all, we've got the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So there's a structure around this reading that leads me to believe that there is a good amount of structure in your life of something that you have worked hard to create. For many of you, this could, if you're an artist, this could be that you're like selling things in a studio, or you have a pop-in social media presence, or just like a lot of structure. And also you could think of it as the outline of an essay or the building blocks for a house. You've got the main structure of the house, and you actually have a lot of assets, so to speak. And you've been a little bit angry, annoyed, frustrated at how slow the process of building it has been. Like, you're like trying to build a house, but you're like forgetting that it's only you building it. And you've got this dope ass structure, like all these wood beams and all these bricks, and your windows are all planned out, and you've got spaces for plumbing, and you've actually really got a very solid foundation, but you're like ready to give up. And I'm kind of giggling because the universe is watching you. Oh, I can see you're frustrated, and it's totally normal to be frustrated, but oh my gosh, look how far you've come, and oh my gosh, look how much you've built. This is no small feat. And pat on the back, congratulations. You're upset, but you're not going to be upset forever. And you're in your head a little bit, but you're not going to be in your head forever. So do a little tour of this magnificent sort of structure that you've built. And yeah, it's only halfway built, but baby, the part that you've built is immaculate. And don't be crying. What you have is pure freaking gold. And it's not the time to burn it all down to the ground just because you're frustrated, or it's not happening as fast as you want it to happen, or you feel like it's all out of reach, or there's all these different options or things that you could do. Or actually, it's like there are all these options and different things that you could do. And actually, start thinking about that stuff. Like, how are you going to finish your house? What are you going to put in it? Where are you going to put your couch? And are you going to hang pretty crystals in the windows? Think about that stuff, because the frustration that you have partially comes from the fact that you're a bit impatient with the whole process, and that's totally normal. There's no shame around that. But at the same time, yeah, the discomfort. Okay, this one says, I find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. So you're staring at this house and you're freaking angry that it's only partway done, but this is also a fantastic opportunity for you to realize how far you already have come. And yes, it's uncomfortable to not have everything you want at this particular time, but you may want to get back into that mindset you've cultivated throughout this process of just exactly how figure-outable it all is. I think this quote comes from Amy. I can't remember her last name. She's like a business guru, where she says everything is figure-outable. And that is the mindset that you need to have going into this. Dear Scorpio, you've got this. You're not on the wrong path. You're just halfway through. You've got this. Thank you so much for being here, dear Scorpio. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being a creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello, Sagittarius. We're looking at the second half of the year. Oh my gosh, this year is already halfway over. Can you freaking believe it? It went flying by, right? What a year, huh? What a year. And what do we see for your second half of the year? Exciting. Beautiful projects coming to life. Oh, don't let your ego get in the way of stopping you. Keep your eye on the opportunities that are presented to you. Keep going for it because you've been presented these opportunities out of nowhere, and congratulations. And keep your mind on the fact that this shit can happen for you and you totally deserve it. Don't get in your own way. Thank yourself and really just wake up every day and be like, oh, I love myself. I love every bit of myself. The hard bits, the soft bits, the mean bits, the nice bits, and I can do this. There's been a lot of progress, and we know that. You've gotten a little bit clearer in the way that you think about your career, your physical body. And yes, there have been difficulties, and there's no denying that. Unsettling things have happened, but it's all building a structure and an identity and a market almost of all your talents. And I want you to start thinking of your life as the journey that you've gone through from beginning to end as this marketplace, and each of the little stalls are there to show you a lesson that you've learned, and you can walk through and see like you're at the Renaissance fair. Okay, look, there's the juggler, and I've learned to juggle all the expectations of the people around me. And wow, I am amazing for that. And yes, it's been difficult. Yes, there's no denying that. But your body is just teaching you how. This is just a process. And there's definitely a feeling of awe, inspiration, and love toward yourself. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender that outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. There you go. There's the surrender piece again. Releasing the burden on yourself to carry it all. And accepting a little bit of help. Accepting a little bit of that receiving energy. And when I think I surrendered, I surrender more. What a word for you today. And for the second half of the year, dear Sagittarius. Surrender. Love it. I love that. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous energy for the second half of the year. I think in the end, the story that you tell yourself is incredibly important, and keep in mind that there are different characters in your life and different experiences and things that you've gone through. So yeah, embrace all those different sides of you and embrace stepping into this new chapter of I can do this. I'm powerful, I'm positive, and what I have to offer the world is valuable. People want to pay me for what I have to offer the world creatively. And I want to move towards my manifestations with gusto, surrendering to all of the beautiful things that I couldn't even have possibly imagined for myself yet are very truly possible for me. That's the mood for the second half of this year, dear Sagittarius. Thank you so much for being here today. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being a creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Hello and welcome, dear Capricorn. We're looking at the second half of the year ahead for your creative and business projects and just basically what your manifestations will look like for the second half of the year. And we've got already some interesting cards to begin with. Let's see here. The Five of Cups, the Six of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Magician in reverse. To begin with, what I'm seeing is that there's going to be a necessary grieving process around a specific thing that you thought was going to work out, or a certain part of, let's say it's your business and you like it, maybe you did it that way before, maybe it was working for you, but it seems like the energy has deflated out of that situation, and that there are things now that you kind of have to remember that you still have that are still valuable to you. And that's what the two little cups behind this grieving figure is representing. It's the universe saying to you that yes, it's a sad process, but remember that you still have a lot to give and a lot that you just particularly have that bring you joy and is worth sharing with the people around you. This may be coming off the back of kind of seeming like there hasn't been a lot of, what shall we say, triumph or celebration worthy types of things. Maybe it just feels a little bit of stagnant, stuck energy, almost like you're in a bog or a swamp and you're just not really getting anywhere. The Ace of Pentacles is here and it's coming as a little life raft, if you will, that you can get to the dock and then trade your way out to a motorboat or something like that to get you out of this particular situation. You're feeling like you don't have any options, but it's definitely not the case. Take the life raft as it presents itself to you, as this is going to be the main thing that sort of gets you out of this energetic slump. Stick to your guns, stick to what you know is true, and remember that you have to give as much as you receive, and you have to receive as much as you give. So if you hear that and you feel, oh, okay, I could take that. I understand that energy. Maybe I've been giving more than I receive. Now is the time to receive a little bit more than what you've been giving. Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pulled tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being a creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. This is your time to defend your own personal truth, and far from having people attack or try to call you out for it, just defend this position and remember that this is and instead of worrying about my future, I know that everything is going to be okay when I'm aligned in the present moment. Ooh, I like that one. I think that one comes from the Super Attractor deck. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Oh. Like, honestly, for you right now, Capricorn, the second half of the year is this absolutely gorgeous position to be in, and where you are defending what you believe to be true, what you know to be true based on your life experiences, and just remembering that if people don't get it, it's not that it's wrong. It's that you have a different perspective on life than they have. You're at a different spot in the journey. Your particular way of looking at things is just different. That doesn't mean that either one of you are wrong. And the most important thing at this point then is to just defend your position, because it's yours for a reason. You haven't gotten to this way of thinking by just willy-nilly doing whatever. You've gotten to this way of thinking by being super aware of the harm that the other way of thinking does. And so you have a position, defend it, and that's pivotal to your success. Of course, you may want to remember that you have agency over your own life, and that if you keep going in the way that you want, feeling like you're sticking to what is true for you and you're standing up for what is important to you, then you have the power ultimately. And you're going to have the final say when it comes to this situation. I hope that makes sense. And remember that the universe is 100% supporting your goals right now, and that finding that inner zen and that powerful voice is what's going to guide you for the second half of the year. Thank you so much, dear Capricorn. Hey, everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. Welcome, dear Aquarius, to your second half of the year reading. We're looking at what the second half of 2026 is bringing us. And wowza. Okay. All right. Okay. Go on with your bad self, dear Aquarius. First of all, do we know that all of the mindset work and the healing work and all of that stuff has been worth it? Do we feel strongly that way? Or are we still meh? Maybe that's not all it's cracked up to be. Because the indication here is that you've gone forward in your healing journey. You've taken big strides toward making big changes in your life, in your business, in your finances, in your personal relationships. And then the shadow side won a little bit. Like we were doubting the progress that we've made, or we're doubting a little bit like the space in which we need to make more, to take further strides. And A, that's okay. Like it literally happens to all of us. But B, it's also the opportunity to be like, remember how far I came when I was willing to put in the work to heal myself, to change my mindset, to stay true to what I desire, and to move forward with my life. Because that was not for nothing, right? We come to those stages in our lives where we get it. We're doing the healing stuff and it's starting to pay off. We're feeling different. We're feeling more honest. We're feeling more powerful. And then we're like, you know what? I did it. I did a good job. Go me. But then the universe is like, also, there's still more to learn. And you may want to go back and be like, okay, maybe there is still some more for me to learn. And hard times, things are difficult in the world right now in a lot of different aspects. And that's always true, but it's especially true right now at the time of recording this, which is the second half of 2026. We know that it's difficult. Things are hard out there right now. And Then on the other hand, you have a very strong forward moving energy. So it's like your life has a lot of auspicious energy at the moment, but we're not taking credit exactly. Like, we're going a little faster than our britches can handle. Does that make sense? Getting a little big for our britches and forgetting to do the very fundamental things that secure our safety in terms of mental health, physical health, our physical location, our family and the house that we live in. It's that we see the world in front of us and we're ready to jump out into it and live off of the vibes alone, right? But there is an important aspect of making sure that we're staying honest with ourselves. The universe is absolutely supporting the forward movement. We love all of that. But are we taking care of those fundamental needs that you just know that you need to do? The habits that you developed, and then you're like, wow, okay, I'm doing really well. So now I don't have to do it anymore. You're like, oh, I was feeling sick, so I started taking my vitamins, and then I started feeling better, so then I stopped taking my vitamins because I was feeling better. But the universe is, but also take your vitamins, even if you're feeling good. It's that preventative care, so to speak. And that's true also for our spiritual well-being and the well-being of the soul, as much as it is the well-being of the physical body, which we could more easily accept as a society because it's just more easily talked about, right? Take your vitamins. It's much more common than do your hypnosis meditations, right? It's the fact. Okay. All right, dear Aquarius, like, you have a very powerful energy at the time. The vibes are right. The world is ahead of you. You're being more honest than you've ever been. Your dreams matter and you can totally believe in them, but don't forget to do the physical upkeep, to take care of yourself, and specifically your mindset, because with all of this very powerful forward moving energy, just make sure you're still going in the direction that you need to be going. Thank you so much, dear Aquarius. Hey, everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pull tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there. It's shaping up to be a beautiful second half of 2026. Hello and welcome, dear Pisces. We are taking a look at your 2026 ahead. The second half of the year is upon us. Can you believe it? The first half went so dang fast. And now we're going to be looking at what are your manifestations? What are the life changes that you want? And King of Swords is your first card. Love it. It's like we're so honest with ourselves, even though we haven't seen the physical manifestation of our manifestations at this time. We're still doing a good job. We're still doing the mindset work that needs to be done. Yeah, we've got this. It's the Emperor, the Moon. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 10 of Swords in reverse, the Tower in reverse. Is there a little bit of change that you're seeking to control? And can you... Oh, and we also got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Why was that? Okay, let's take a little think about this one. King of Swords, the Emperor, and we're in the Tower in reverse. You're over it, all the struggle, but you're not quite to the space of letting in the full reception of all that you see for yourself. So you have come a very long way in terms of no longer wanting to accept bullshit. You're catching on, you're following your own intuition, and you're getting closer, but there is still this part of you that's, do I really deserve this? And what if I don't really deserve it? And what if I'm just a fraud? And what if I don't belong? And what if everybody hates? And that's the king, and the king of swords and the emperor are two very strong directive energy cards that are saying to us, like, step into that role. I am loving the energy of the universe. Interesting. And yet there's still, the universe has big plans for me, and now it's my time to reclaim them. Okay. So that's the question I want to pose to you. Are you allowing the things into your life that you want to have? Because on the one hand, we can manifest. Let's go with money as an example. And let's go with $10,000 as an example, because that's the 10 of Pentacles, let's just say. Okay? You've done the work. You've manifested. You've increased your money mindset game. You've done a lot of the work around manifesting, showing up, reading the books, doing the coaching, etc., etc. And then you went ahead and manifested something that was like, whoa, this is incredible. I didn't think that I could manifest something like this. And then you got onto a little bit of a tizzy. Sorry for my horrible English accent. You got yourself into a little bit of a tizzy because maybe your nervous system wasn't fully ready to accept all of the gloriousness that you had asked for. Oh, this happens to everybody. Totally normal. And so no reason to be down on yourself. In fact, congrats. It shows and proves that you are capable of manifesting certain things that will help you in your life. And you got that. Now, start the receiving game in terms of, I do deserve to have $10,000. Because what happens sometimes if we manifest a bunch of money, we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then we spend it all. Because we're like, I don't really truly deserve this. I deserve to be poor and unhappy and scared and broke for the rest of my life. Duh, that's what my parents did. Duh, that's what everybody before me did. Why would I deserve anything different than them? They're my family. This is just an example, but could be true for love, could be true for business. And so even though we got some good results, we also want to focus on being able to receive those good results. And that's what the second half of 2026 is all about. So you know that you can manifest it. Now you need to prove to yourself that you can receive it as well. Okay, dear Pisces? I love this for you. The second half of 2026 is going to be absolutely beautiful for you. Mwah! Everybody, remember to put your zodiac sign in the comments section to bring all of that juicy manifestation energy in for the second half of the year. And I wanted to extend a special invitation to you. I have a club called Tarot and Write, which is the space in which I pulled tarot cards, and then we have co-working session directly after, so that you can build your mindset around being creative, making money as a creative, and actually finishing those projects. You get to bust through procrastination because you have body doubling and a little bit of an investment in the time that you spend writing and putting the essence of you out there into the world to make you money. I love it. It's an absolutely beautiful space that I would love to have you be a part of. And to that end, I'm offering anybody who listens or watches or reads this reading to a free 7-day trial. Just hop on in and see if you like the vibe and if you want to continue. We would love to have you there.